Marc Márquez has once again made waves in MotoGP. He conquered Le Mans in 2 races, the sprint and the main race. The racer, nicknamed the Baby Alien, also broke 2 major records and sparked controversy within Ducati. MotoGP legend Valentino Rossi made a sharp yet diplomatic comment. What did Rossi say? Let's discuss it. Last weekend's race results extended Marquez's list of extraordinary achievements in his debut season with Ducati Lenovo. He conquered the sprint race at Le Mans with full confidence and broke the record for the most consecutive sprint wins in MotoGP history. 6 wins in a row. From the Thailand GP to the French GP, no one could touch Marquez in that short yet brutal session. Even Pecco Bagnaia, who was touted as a sprint specialist last season, was never seen in the front row again when the green light came on. Moreover, Marquez officially became the Spanish rider with the most podiums of all time, surpassing Jorge Lorenzo's 114 and Dani Pedrosa's 112 with 115 podiums. The most impressive thing? He achieved this feat after 2 seasons of injuries, trauma, and a dramatic switch from Honda to Ducati. In less than 6 months, Marquez not only rediscovered his speed, but also found his masterpiece. However, behind Ducati's roaring success in the first half of the 2025 MotoGP season, a ripple of suspicion slowly turned into a storm of opinion. In the paddock corridors, on engineers' desks, and in casual chats between journalists, one question began to emerge that could no longer be ignored. Did Ducati treat its 2 main riders fairly? The issue of favoritism didn't take long to surface. It all started with the striking difference in performance and gestures on the track. Marc Márquez, the newcomer to Ducati, seemed to blend in immediately with the Desmacedesi GP25. He appeared wild yet controlled and aggressive yet efficient, as if the bike were created specifically for his flamboyant riding style. Each time he took to the track, Marquez seemed to dance on the Desmacedesi engine with astonishing precision. Meanwhile, Pecco Bagnaia, the defending champion for 2 consecutive seasons and a central figure in the bike's development for the past 2 years, actually seemed to be faltering. He appeared to be fighting his own bike rather than competing against his rivals on the track. The Desmacedesi that he and Gigi Dall'Igna had previously shaped with precision now seemed to have changed character and no longer recognized its master's touch. The situation became even more heated when contrasting expressions were seen inside the Ducati garage. On Marquez's side were laughter, smiles, and warm hugs from the technical team, who seemed to celebrate every lap. In contrast, Bagnaia's side had gloomy faces, blank stares, and stiff interactions. It was as if an invisible wall separated the 2 worlds within one red tent. The public began to speculate. Did Marquez really get a bike with identical specs? Or was there a special adjustment that made him more comfortable on the GP25? Gigi Dall'Igna, the man behind Ducati's transformation over the last decade, finally spoke out. With a firm face and a voice full of conviction, he strongly denied the accusations that were spreading wildly. No. Ducati has never given different treatment. Marc and Pecco receive the same technical equipment and parts, as well as identical technical support, he told Toto Sakito, attempting to quell the growing doubts about the team's credibility. However, immediately after denying the allegations, Dall'Igna made a follow-up statement that sparked new interpretations. It was ambiguous and did not completely quell suspicions. It is precisely when a rider is struggling that we are more by his side. Right now, we are supporting Pecco a lot because he needs help finding his speed again. That statement opens a new chapter. If their treatment and equipment are identical, why is only Pecco struggling? Is the problem truly only one of adaptation? Or are there technical details never revealed to the public, such as engine mapping, torque delivery settings, and electronic characteristics that can subtly adjust a bike to better suit a rider? In the world of MotoGP, full of intrigue and micro-precision, a single click of suspension or power delivery strategy can mean the difference between fate and destiny. When the final result favors one rider, speculation continues, even if the factory denies all accusations. At this point, the voice of a legend was finally heard, and, as always, Valentino Rossi's words immediately became the focus of heated discussions in the paddock. In an exclusive interview, the doctor once again demonstrated his wisdom and keen insight into the situation, this time regarding the internal dynamics of the Ducati team. I don't want to accuse anyone because I know how professional Ducati is at handling its riders. But from the perspective of a rider who has experienced various situations in a big team, you can see and feel that Marc's bike looks different, Rossi said in a calm but meaningful tone. He was not accusing anyone. But he was also not defending anyone. His words lingered, inviting the public to think. Whether it's the engine's character, the electronic settings, or the technical coordination in the pits, everything seems calibrated to Marc's needs. Meanwhile, Pecco, who should be the team's leader, seems to have lost his footing and confidence. That's not normal for a world champion of his caliber. Rossi understands how difficult it is for a team to balance two superstars in one garage. He did not deny that the presence of a dominant figure like Marc Márquez could indirectly alter the internal dynamic. Sometimes, the problem isn't the difference in parts. It's in the little things: how the team responds to requests, how quickly they adjust the setup, and how flexible they are when the rider asks for changes. All of that, even though it seems trivial, can have a big impact on the rider's confidence. "I think that's what's happening at Ducati now," Rossi said with a smile that held the weight of his long MotoGP experience. Carlo Pernat is a legendary figure and seasoned observer who has been involved in the MotoGP world for decades. He is known as one of the most influential people behind the careers of many top riders. Recently, he offered an unexpected analysis of Francesco Bagnaglia's condition. Bagnaia is a two-time world champion who has recently experienced a significant decline in performance. According to Pernat, Pecco's main problem is not his technical ability on the motorbike or his racing strategy. Rather, the dominant issue is the psychological problem that haunts the racer's mentality. In an exclusive interview with Motosan, Pernat firmly stated that, mentally, Bagnaia is no longer in the competition. Pecco is not there anymore. Physically and technically, he is still capable. But mentally, I think 70% of the problem is in his head, Pernat said in a serious tone. He seems to have lost the confidence and motivation that used to make him perform so well. This is a real mental war. Pernat emphasized that the biggest threat to Marc Márquez currently does not come from Ducati's main rivals or other top riders who have long competed at the highest level. Instead, the real threat comes from a less prominent figure in the paddock, Alex Marquez, Marc's younger brother. Alex could be the only one who can really approach and challenge Marc. The other riders seem to have accepted Marc's dominance without putting up much of a fight, said Pernat with full confidence. Pernat added that this shows how mentality is a determining factor that cannot be underestimated in MotoGP. Technical ability alone is not enough to survive and win at the world level. He added that if Bagnaia does not immediately rediscover his mental strength, his position and future in MotoGP will be threatened. Pecco must rise and fight this psychological pressure, or he will fall further behind. This mental battle could be more important than having the fastest motorbike or the best technique, Pernat concluded. MotoGP 2025 is now entering a phase that is about more than just speed. Behind the podium spotlight and applause, a deeper narrative emerges, one of technical justice, psychological pressure, and political games behind the garage walls. Marc Márquez is rewriting history with his extraordinary speed, courage, and consistency. The question now is whether Ducati is building a champion or creating a rift within their own team. Share your thoughts in the comments below.